Well, hello, once again, everyone. This is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the Nautilus Dry Docks. We have another project to share with you. You got to do me one favor, though, and...
Stand by for action.
What we are looking at here is a scale model of the STINGRAY from the Gerry Anderson series STINGRAY from the 1960s. This kit originally started out as a kit put out by Beck's Model Marine out of the UK. And I will say that the kit, when I got it, was not in the best of conditions for immediate construction. There was a lot of work that needed to get done in order to get the hull remotely close to anywhere that we needed to be in order to have a model that you see before you. The entire cockpit area was basically unusable. I had to redo all of that and print it out in 3D. So this is actually an ABS plastic shell with the fins all part of it there. All of these detail parts too, I redid the files for because the original parts were either not symmetrical, warped, or just basically unusable. Did a lot of extra work in here. This was all cut out. We got the torpedo tubes in there, and we have a full interior. And you can see our captain and phones in there. This is a fully functional remote controlled craft, and we're going to show you how it all goes together. Okay, this model is just shy of 3 feet in length, which actually makes it a really, really nice size. Now, it may look really big and sound really big, but actually the internal volume is not massive because it's wide and long, but it's also very short, as you can see in the front here. Access is really, really easy. The way that I set this up, you basically just grab the boat behind the cockpit, and by the front here, slide it forward and lift it off. I'm going to disconnect our internals here, and I'll show you how all of this goes together. So looking at the interior here, you can see the floor of the scale interior in there, some flotation foam, blocks. This is the intake for the ballast system, and the wire lead that you see right here is for the lighting system, which we're going to show you a little bit later on as well. You can see the hook system that was engineered to hold it down. So basically the top just drops down, slides back, and locks into place. And what you see right here is all of the internal workings, a lot of flotation foam in here. And this is all done so that the top can go down and slide back. So all of this is level with the hull. We have various pieces of ballast weights in here. This is the main drive battery. This is it's called a life battery, lithium ferrous phosphate battery, 12.8 volts, 6 amps of capacity. So this has a ton of capacity to run this boat for an extended period of time. Again, you can see inside there just what the bottom looks like. We have a forward waterproof servo that actuates the mid-mounted dive planes. Now, most submarines have the dive planes spaced at the very extreme ends for maximum influence over the pitch of the boat. These particular ones are mounted in the center, which means they can affect the depth, but not the pitch of the boat. And you need to use the stern setup for that in order to do that. What we have in the middle here is a custom fabricated ballast tank. Inside is the main pickup there, which runs into dry box. And this is a off-the-shelf utility box from Home Improvement Center. Inside you can see the pump, the receiver, and then there's the drive motor for the Rate Master, which we'll get to in a second. The secondary compartment here houses the main propulsion motor. 2 waterproof servos control the gimbaled jet in the back. And you can see our propeller in the housing there. And this Rate Master does spin just like the series, and you can see the geared shaft that runs in here to spin that. And then on the side here, you can see that gimbaled jet, which controls both the pitch and yaw of the boat. So I've got the boat powered up, and you can tell that it's powered up because the LED lights are on. In order to power it up, you just connect the waterproof connector. It's as easy as that. A few controls that you'll be able to see here. This is the FrSky X14 Twin 900 megahertz system, which allows for full submerged operation of the boat. Real kind of magic to this is this gimbaled jet in the back, and you can see left and right, up and down control there, and that deflects the flow from the propeller straight out the back. If we turn on our Rate Master, you can see that spinning, and I could spin it in the other direction. Works really, really good, nice and smooth. And then we got our propeller. That moves water, for sure. We have control over the forward dive planes, or the central dive planes in there. In practical application, though, these are not needed at all. They would control the depth of the boat, but the boat stays perfectly level during operation, and all of your control inputs can occur just with that rear vectored nozzle. And the last control is the ballast pump. And it's just a simple pump system. It pumps water in and out of the ballast system, and this is the air intake that you would attach to the upper hull to allow the air to be pulled from the periscope up in the top there. So provided this is above the surface of the water, you'll always be able to get back up to the top. Quick review of the controls. This is your throttle. You do not really have reverse in this. All that water is pulled into the boat and goes out, through the torpedo tubes and the intake that I have in the bottom of the boat. So you just kind of watch where you're going, so you don't need to back up. Then obviously you've got your left and right, your up and your down. The pump controls are on the main switch. To dive, you would go down, and to surface, you go up. And that's as easy as that. And then the Rate Master is on this big switch here. You can go counterclockwise and clockwise. Simple boat, very easy to do. You have full access to the interior visibly, so you can see if there's any water going on in there. Very simple system. Now that we got the top on, it's a little easier to see those great details of the full interior of the Stingray right there. And then of course we got some LED lights in the torpedo tubes, LED lights in the side thrusters, and of course the bright blue lights in the Rate Master, and a flashing navigational light, which helps you see it when you're navigating. From an operational perspective, this particular Stingray has a few quirks and features that you need to bear in mind when you're operating it. It is not a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination, but it does perform at a nice kind of scale speed. Now, of course, in the series, it traveled at something ridiculous like 600 knots or something like that. I didn't come quite that close in terms of the speed. It'll go at a nice stately sort of walking pace on and under the water. When it surfaced, that surfaced water line is actually really, really high. I'm exceptionally happy in how high we managed to get that. So it's very much like the series. Doing that, of course, though, means that the intake for the water for the propeller is very close to the surface. So if you go anything more than about third throttle, it'll pull air into that jet, and it'll greatly reduce the efficiency of the propulsion. But it does make some really cool little vortexes behind the boat. Once the boat gets under the water, it is absolutely a dream to operate. Rock solid, perfectly level, holds depth with no input. Whatever you want to do, it will do. I'll also say that currently I have it ballasted almost neutrally, which is probably not exactly where you want it. The new owner may elect to add a little bit more foam right in the center of the boat to give just a little bit more safety factor. But for now, from a performance perspective, having it close to neutral gives you that really, really beautiful submerged performance. One other consideration with this Stingray is that the tank is short and very fat. What I found is during the filling and emptying procedure for the ballast tank, the water will actually end up sloshing from one side to the other, which means as it transitions, it does get a little off kilter. Now, it completely straightens out when it's fully surfaced or fully submerged, but that transition is probably not as gorgeous as it could be. Adding some baffles on the inside would be a great idea, but doing that at this point is going to be somewhat challenging. We had an opportunity to take it out to the top secret test facility here at the Nautilus Dry Docks for a night run. With those LED lights, it is absolutely a showstopper, and we're really glad we had the opportunity to bring it out before we pack it up and ship it out to the new owner. Well, there you go, guys. That is an overview of this 3-foot long Stingray from the Gary Anderson Stingray. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps us out here at the Dry Docks a lot. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. I'd love to hear from you. You can always email me, bob@nautilusdrydocks.com. And with that, I think we're going to let you go. You have a great rest of your day, and as always, we'll catch you next time.